we have a lot to talk about. And a lot of questions that need answers and all that. And so I figured we should do that while I make breakfast. So if you haven't kept up with the journey, first of all, shame on you, you should. If you did and you still don't know what is going on, by the way, zucchini's going in. I'm making zucchini potato fritters. So a lot has happened, yes, I know. And if you follow the journey, you know that I am spending 2.5 months in the Azores for an artist residency. It is hot. Let me turn this AC on. Yeah. There you are. I've been spending 2.5 months here, and low key, I'm a little homesick, and it hit around like week 2. It hit with my partner, like not bad enough for me to be like, I want to go home, but bad enough for me to be like, you know what? So a lot of people are like, how did you even get here? How did you find this? So I guess let's tell the story. So I've been with my partner for 3 years. Yes, this is the same man that made me change my mind about whether or not I wanted to date again after. I'm just so needless to say, he is very, very important to me. So he had never been out of the country before he met me. And so one of my biggest things was making sure he got to experience that. So for his birthday this year, it's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? He said he wanted to go on a trip. I told him to pick wherever he wanted to go, and he decided on the Azores. He's wanted to come here since he was a child, and so I started planning, figuring out when we were leaving, how we were going to get there, where we were. I planned all of it, and it worked out. Our initial plan worked out to where we were going to land. Okay, so our initial plan was, I had to preach on the 31st at church. So our initial plan was, I preach on Sunday morning, we go out for breakfast like we always do, and then change our clothes and head to the airport. So 31st comes along, and go through the Sunday morning. It was great from what I remember, from what I was told, because I'm one of those people where after I finish preaching, I don't really remember a lot. And so we got excited. We went to the grocery store. We did all of it. Headed to the airport. We get to the airport. We're super excited. His first international trip, our first international trip together. We were very excited. In the line at the airport, ready to go. Our flight gets canceled. And not like we get there and then we're immediately told. We're told about an hour or so after standing in line for like 3 hours, by the way. An hour before our flight is supposed to take off, we're told, hey, by the way, your flight is canceled. There's nothing we can do about it. It's just, it is what it is. So we, needless to say, we panicked. We had our moment. We cried about it. I was stressed out about it because, like, I get it. Like, weather is unpredictable. I understand. But to have us in line for 3 hours and then wait until an hour before our flight, diabolical. So we go through the motions. We sit, we cry, we try to figure out alternatives. We were supposed to get on the flight on the 31st, land on the 1st, celebrate his birthday here on the 2nd. Needless to say, that did not happen. So we ended up going back home. Okay, so this is what our fritters look like right now. Can you see that? We're gonna add a little bit of salt to it so that we can dry this out because we need crispy fritters. So we cried. We you know, at one point we were upset with everything, and then we didn't turn on each other, but it was very, very annoying to have something that he plans, and like I wanted this for him because my partner, he's super kind, super sweet when he wants to be. And it was so upsetting. And again, I was still coming down from the whole preaching situation, and then having to navigate that on top of it was very upsetting because, like, he checked out. He was not having it. It was one of those moments that he was upset, but he couldn't show that he was upset. And I was like, you know what, it's fine. So I did what Black women do, and I fixed it. So we go home. We soak all day on the 1st. And when I say all day, I literally mean all day. Salt, upsetty spaghetti about it. And then I still had to make sure that he got to celebrate his birthday on the 2nd. So we did like a cute little dinner, made him everything he wanted. The whole time I'm on the phone with the airline like, listen, you need to fix this because you ruined his birthday. I wasn't rude about it because I worked for the airline before. Like, I get it. There's a lot of the times you're getting yelled at for stuff that you can't control. But I was still not with it at all. So finally got our flight for the 4th. And our original Airbnb that we got boarded the flight. Everything was great until we get to our first Airbnb. First Airbnb did not look like it did in the pictures, that's all I'll say. And I had told them, like, yeah, we're not spending only 4 days, or we had 8 on our initial itinerary, so we ended up staying the 4th to the 12th, I think, something like that. Look at this water. Okay, so now, oop. There's another overloaders out, and we're gonna set this over here. Fritters. So now that we got here on the 5th, we landed on the 5th. And then landed on the 5th, and our Airbnb was not what he said it was going to be. And that further dampened the mood because of the car situation. So, what's the car situation? The car situation is we could finally get to the airport. We're relatively skeptical about it, especially after everything that happened. And so, we get there. I'm like, guys, like, hey, we only drive manuals in this country. If you want an automatic, you have to pay extra. Me, knowing that I'm not driving a single bit here, decided that he gets to choose, he can choose whatever kind of car he wanted. I said, cornstarch, egg. I said we should get an automatic. He said, no, I'm not getting an automatic. He just said it's gonna cost more. I said, okay, but we're going to have an issue if you don't. No, I'm not. I always want you to drive. Okay. And he insisted on getting his manual. I said, okay. We get in the car, it does not work. I had to channel what I call my inner mother hell. For me not to be like, see, I told you so. I let him go through it. It did not work the way he wanted to, which I knew it wasn't going to. But he insisted, so I let him have it. Car situation goes completely left. We have to get an automatic, which, never mind. Okay, so we added some sourdough discard and egg. We are going to add about a tablespoon or so of cornstarch. Now, if you don't have cornstarch, yes, you can use flour. I just wanted to use cornstarch. About a tablespoon, but I just don't feel like measuring anything. And besides, these are going to be for me. So, yeah, get the car. Doesn't work out the way he wanted it to. Surprise, surprise. He's frustrated, I'm annoyed, because in the back of my head and probably on my face, it's like we wouldn't be in this situation if you'd have listened to me in the first place. He's gonna see this video, he's gonna be like, wow, I didn't know you thought that way. I did. I absolutely did. But his birthday trip, this trip was all about him because, again, this was supposed to be his birthday. So I just went with it. We get to the Airbnb, our first Airbnb, our luck is just not with it. Like, we don't know what's going on. It's not what he said it was going to be. The pictures did not match. Nothing. So we figured we're only gonna stay there for about 2 nights. We suck it up, look for more. We find other Airbnb options. He picks out the ones that he likes. Picks out the ones that he likes. We book them night 1. And we start to kind of like, because, you know, but as life would have it, rained all day on day 1, rained all day 2, and we don't mind the rain, it's just, dang. So we go out, we make the best of it, because again, it's what we do. We've time to leave our first Airbnb. We leave our first Airbnb and head to the second one. Now, y'all know that I love me some animals, and I was super excited because the second one that we ended up staying at, had a farm. And our first trip that we took together, Colorado, we stayed on a farm, and so it just kind of became a thing for us. So we booked it, and here I am. Long story short, she was great, so kind, so sweet. She was American, so she understood. Like it was great. She took us on a tour. We tried pineapples. She took us on a tour of her food forest, or the second place she's trying to turn into her food forest, and her other Airbnb, which is the property I'm at now. We walked through, and guys, when I tell you, I fell in love with this place. It was so beautiful. Like, it was amazing. So, I'm like, you know what? While I finish talking, let me set up this, because we gotta fry these babies. And I want oils to be hot. I don't need. So, we walk around the property, she's telling us all this. She's like, yeah, we're cleaning it up soon. I'm looking for a chef. Girl, I cook for the love of it, like, let's do it. And she's like, really? Oh my gosh, you should send me your resume. I'm like, don't get me with a good time. So we had a great time on the pineapple farm. We had a great time with being woken up to roosters every morning. It was great. He found and adopted a turkey. It was so much fun. We had such a great time. And then then we go to Airbnb 3. Airbnb 3 was great. It was smooth enough, because that's when he freaking broke his drone. That's his story to tell. So as we're like at the last day in our last Airbnb, we look at each other, we're like, yo, we could live here. Like, you know, the whole vacation vibes, it was great, it was phenomenal. And in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, maybe. We get back home, and we're like, when's our next trip? For me, I like going on trips at least twice a year. So I want to do one domestic and one international. Because that was his first international trip this year, I kind of just wanted it to just be that one. A couple of days go by, a couple of weeks go by, and I cannot get that. Oh, I'm looking for a chef out of my mind. So I put together my portfolio. I run it through all of my creative channels, all of it, and I show it to him, and I'm like, "What do you think?" He's like, "Yeah, hit send." I'm like, "Okay, hit send." We've been talking. We talked once a week, and then after that, she was like, "Yeah, absolutely, come through." I wasn't supposed to come in here until August, but then she was like, "Oh, we're leaving in July, and we have a whole bunch of people at the end of July." I'm like, "July's my birthday. It's my birth month. Are you kidding me?" But having a free, all expenses paid trip to somewhere that I know I liked on my birthday, sign me up. So I hopped on a flight July 12th, and I've been here ever since. So, all done? So, I keep pausing because the other women that work here, they don't speak English, and there's a very high and very real possibility that like they might come in and like try to translate something or try to tell me something, and I haven't gotten their permission to be on camera, and I don't want to ask them because this is not their channel. I just wanted to make like be respectful. Anyway, so hopped on my flight July 12th, landed, been here ever since, and it's great. I love it. It has been an eye-opener into what I loved as a business owner, and then simultaneously all the things I could not and still cannot stand as a content creator. And so everybody is like, "Oh, how could you do this?" Or "Why did you?" I did this, one, for the plot, two, because like I'm me. These are just types of things that I do. Like when my sisters and I had our weekly like catch up or bi-weekly catch up, one of my sisters said, "Leave it to Mary to find something like this," and it's like, yeah, I mean, yeah. So what's next is the next question that I keep getting asked, and honestly, I don't know. I get back to New York in October, just in time for my Airbnb services to launch. And then after that, it's a secret. I got some things in motion, and I'm very excited to find out if it happens the way that I think it's going to. I can't tell you guys what it is because when it happens, I want my most authentic reaction to it. But yeah, I'm good. I've been good. I've been MIA for a while on socials, like my personal socials, and it's not because I don't want people to know. It's just I'm so focused on building the Marisili brand that I forget to post on my private Instagram, on my private TikToks, and so now my business TikTok, which you should go follow it. It's the Marisili on IG. YouTube is Official Maryish. That was the brand that started all of this. That's the brand that I'm still going to take. And then for TikTok, I am mary.ish1. So y'all should go find that out. Follow that as well. I do post videos on YouTube every Monday, so never miss a Monday. As far as the other content goes, on my TikTok, on my website, on Instagram, it is a toss-up. Some days are Tuesdays, some days are some days are Wednesdays, excuse me, some days are Thursdays, but you will be able to follow the journey no matter where we go next. So I think my oil is ready to go. We're about to start frying up some fritters.